Welcome, guys. Episode 2 of Standing on the Rock. We've got T-Flow here. We've got Terrence Flowers. He's the owner and founder of 4.0 Fit, and he's the director. He's a videographer, and he's also the director of the documentary that's on YouTube, The Other Race. It has 1.4 million views.
Yes, sir.
It was done right here in Columbus, Georgia. Right here in Columbus, Georgia. And he's been in fitness now. How long have you been doing fitness?
About 8 years.
About 8 years. Does that. I've worked with him. We did a commercial together, Tax Time. That's how we got to meet each other. Was through Tax Time. And funny story. I remember when we got together that day. He said it's probably going to take about 6 or 7 hours. Ended up taking 3 because we were able to just really
knock it out.
I felt like we fed off of each other.
We did.
It was
good at improvising.
Yeah. So that day we had a script, and I think by the time we did the first take, you kind of realized we can fly through this and ad lib.
Exactly. It's better to ad lib instead of just go on script.
And so we ad libbed. There's a lot of it I felt like we ad libbed. We made sure that I had to say making tax great again at tax time or something. Mm-hmm. Made sure we ended that.
You might explain to them exactly what you did so they could.
So I was Donald Trump. He needed a Donald Trump impersonator. I auditioned for it and got the role. And he wanted to have the line saying, "Making taxes great again here at tax time." And so we did that.
Tax now.
Tax now. I'm sorry.
You did the same thing last time.
I did.
That's why you kept fumbling on it.
I did do that.
Yeah.
But we worked together, and it was supposed to be a 6 to 7 hour shoot. Ended up being like a 3-hour shoot.
Yep.
And from there we built a friendship and just stayed connected. We both love working out. He's a lot more disciplined than I am. Mm-hmm. But wanted to have you on the show to talk about
appreciate that.
Fitness and how to stay in shape during the quarantine and the obstacles to that. But since we're into the talking about filming and podcasting and everything like that, mm-hmm. what got you into directing? What got you into filmmaking?
What got me into filmmaking is several years ago when I used to rap. Mm-hmm. I had an artist who used to rap with me. And we saved up our money, and we hired this guy to shoot a video. Mm-hmm. It might have been the worst rap video ever. Rap video gotta have that edge to it. And this, oh my God, I don't know what he gave us, but we spent a lot of money. We spent $5,000 for the video. This was in the early 2000s, so everybody didn't have access to a camera back then. Mm-hmm. So I vowed to myself that I would buy a camera and shoot my own videos before I gave anyone $5,000 again for a video. Mm-hmm. So I invested in the camera. Mm-hmm. Of course, my first 100 videos sucked because I didn't know what I was doing, but I learned. Mm-hmm. And that was the start of me directing, picking up a camera, learning how to shoot videos, and just doing research. I'm a YouTuber. I've been YouTubing about probably 11 years on YouTube. I have a YouTube account since 2009. So I've always researched, taught myself when I need to learn something. I see something else in another video, I would Google it, just try to find out what it is, and I would find out how I could do it with my camera. And that's where it all started from.
YouTube's a powerful tool. There's a lot of things that I've done on my truck because of YouTube.
Well, okay, so putting it back together, doing tune-ups and stuff?
Yes. When the front part of my fender broke up, the grill, on YouTube, I found out how to replace it and put it back on myself.
Exactly. Excellent teaching tool.
Oh my gosh, so simple. So simple. So that's amazing. So when you're basically a trial by fire guy, you learned on your own.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. And that's fitness. That's videography, and Lee didn't know this, but I'm also a recording engineer too. While you were doing the rap game. And I started doing that before I started doing the camera work. So back in the 90s, I was recording my own Roland 1680, like a digital workstation. I was using that in the 90s to create records. So I would say that might be my oldest skill, would be a recording engineer.
Now, did the recording aspect of it help you in the video side of it? Did it help you at all, like with sound?
Lee, when I tell you that it seemed like the creator knew what I would be doing today, 20 years ago, because everything, even right now, sound, videos, lighting, I learned all that through the years, and so I can take that talent and put it anywhere where I need it. Whether it's a podcast, whether it's a wedding, whether it's a baby shower, it's the same thing. So that talent is giving me just a world open up for different avenues to try to make money off the skill I taught myself over the years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you went from that and learned directing and all that stuff. You went from that to doing a documentary called The Other Race.
Called The Other Race,
It
yes.
has 1.4 million views. And just so everybody knows, The Other Race is basically where it's a biracial child. They were born out of a biracial relationship, and they're a mixed biracial person, white and black, correct?
Most of them are white and black.
And
yes.
they talk about the I didn't know this, the journey and the affliction that they deal with,
Yes.
and their own racism that they deal with just by simply having, coming from a biracial family. So where did the inspiration come for that documentary, and how well is that documentary done, and how has it helped you as a filmmaker?
Okay, the documentary, actually, the idea for the documentary came from a friend. I was juggling some different ideas about doing a documentary. And this particular day, she was a little agitated, a little angry. And she actually brought her argument into what I was telling her about. I can't say everything she said, but she was like, you need to do a documentary about biracial people and how people have us misconstrued.
Wow.
She was like, people take how we look, and I'm trying to use the right words. People take how we look and think we're soft or think we're weak, but we're just like everybody else. We're not the minor
Or lesser race.
we're not the lesser. We're not the lesser of either race. We're not like the scum of white people. We're not the scum of black people. Like I said, she didn't say it like that, but I was trying to say it audience friendly. But she planted a seed. So I was like, And when I brought it to my my business partner and my consigliere, shout out Khalees, that's my boy. You know Khalees, yeah.
Yes.
I said, hey Khalees, I got an idea. He was like, he called me Blue. Blue, I don't know about that one. I said, hey man, it'll go, man. I said, when she spoke that, I felt her. And I said, it's probably other people who feel like that too. So he was like, I don't know, but no, I'll support you. So first what I did was I put out a casting call, and then I actually realized I know a lot of biracial people. So I reached out to them, and majority of the people that you see in the film are, once I just thought about it, are people I knew. Cynthia Jones, she's a gym owner in town, fabulously fit. Rashad, and he's actually one of the people in the film. He doesn't even look biracial. He looks like all the way African American, but he's actually half Hispanic. I want to say Mexican, but Mexican is a nationality, not a race. But he has Latino, Hispanic. Most of them are white and black. We had an Asian, Ashton. She was actually did intern. Hey Ash, that's my girl, Ashton.
Hey.
She's actually Asian and black, and she had an interesting story. I don't know if you remember her story, but she had a real interesting story. So all these people, I think we had like 14, 15. We had a guy named Jeremiah. He actually lived in New York. I think maybe at one time they was a little more fluent because he spoke on being up there. And the first time he heard the N-word was from, he went to a good school up there, and white kids were calling him that, and he laughed because he didn't know what it was. So when he got home, told his mom, hey mom, what's, and he was like, oh, who told you that? He's like, the kids at school call me that. So everybody had all these stories. So, and with me knowing that that's the basis of anything you put on media or film is the story. The story runs everything. I just felt that everybody had an interesting story, so I just put it all together. We had a minimum budget. We had like $1,000 budget for the whole thing, and I never knew in a million years that it would take off the way it did.
1.4 million views.
1 point.
And I think it had like over 20,000 comments or something.
25,000 comments. And that's where the engagement.
That's huge.
There's so many stories in there that I can't even keep up. And one day when I get time, I'm going to go back and just, it's conversation, it's whole people arguing. It's crazy.
1.4 million views, 25,000 comments, done right here in Columbus, Georgia.
Right here in Columbus, Georgia.
And you said it was in 12 countries. You've had people ask you, can they use your documentary?
Yes, I've had to, in several cases, I even had to, they wanted me to fill out paperwork, giving them permission, like actual written, and I had to scan it back and send it to them. Couple people, it was actually an email saying, yeah, you can get permission. couple people just text. But I know one that stuck out with Australia and Japan, because ladies in Japan were like, the perception of Americans is different over there. They get to see like the just two extremes almost, and she wanted to show them America's a melting pot, and we're rich in culture. We intermingle.
Absolutely.
It's not like we're just like this and like that. So showing biracial people who had was mixed was a culture shock for some of the Japanese students who watched the video, the film.
Wow. So from there, I noticed that you continue to make documentaries. You're doing one now. It's called To Catch a Whale. You're helping with that one, correct?
Yes, To Catch a Whale. So what I'm doing with that one is definitely the cinematographer. We're doing sound, running sound with that. That is a interesting case. Another case that happened right here in Columbus, Georgia. Zacchaeus Flint, I think happened in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. He was shot and killed by a CSU police officer.
Mm-hmm.
And the family wants justice. So
Mm-hmm.
it's, I can't talk about it too much, but it's deep, man, because it's
the trailer dropped today, by the way, so
yes,
check out
yes.
his page.
Matter of fact, you share on your page, and you
I'll
can
share
bring
on
your
my page.
audience to it,
Yes.
so they can kind of check it out.
I will.
And guys, be objective, because really I got in trouble on the trailer. The producers they wanted a certain way, but as a filmmaker, I have integrity.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I can't do it that way. I have to show the other side what was said. I just can't have it where it's blah 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 blah. It has to be this
You're
way.
giving two viewpoints, and
two
you're leaving it up to the
viewpoints.
audience to make up their mind.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and more so on the film, because it's not like we're just getting loved ones and just getting their opinion. We're getting opinion from professionals in law enforcement, the coroner, and even testimony from the DA. So it's their own words in some cases, and medical evidence that, to me, it makes it clear what happened.
I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
I can't wait to
It's
watch
gonna
it.
be great.
So talk about, I once was a pastor,
Mm-hmm.
and I've pastored all types.
Okay.
So I wanna ask this question.
Go ahead.
What is it like, or are there any struggles of being a black filmmaker that you encountered?
I'll say where I'm at in my filmmaking, no. I'm not so versed in filmmaking to where I'm in the industry where I see obstacles. What I mean by that is a black person who's in the film industry, this is just something I would imagine they would have. Say they wanted to do a film, short film, or a small budget film, and they went to a bank to get $100,000 to shoot the film. That could be a problem I could see one having. I'm not having those problems. I'm not doing those type of productions yet. So one thing I can say personally in Columbus, as a black business owner, and just who I've evolved into over the years, I'm good with everybody. Like me and you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, people who are cops, all races, black and white. I mean, who I've evolved to from where I once was is, I'm in a good place. I got support from the community. I mean, life is good. Besides the coronavirus, I'm good. I'm good. I'm blessed.
Praise God.
This gym, I'm about to change my community and the people who I can pull into this fitness to help us get healthy, because that's one thing that, outside of being my job, I feel real passionate about fitness, because I know that us being healthy and us being fit is more important than us taking medicine and being retroactive. We gotta be proactive in when it comes to protecting our bodies, and I know fitness is the gateway to that.
So talking about fitness, I noticed in the video when I was watching the other race, that you wasn't swole. Yeah. So what started that? What started the journey? And this was a journey. You did not get this body in a 90-day period,
No,
correct?
I did not.
And how long did it take to get here, where you are today?
From where I am today, the whole entire thing took about 8 years.
Okay, so 8 years. But what started that journey? Where did the inspiration come from? And where did you start? How did you start getting in shape? What was your protocol? What did you do? What was the inspiration to get in shape?
Man, And it's a real long story.
So you were 32, right? Because you're 40. You're 40
No,
like me.
no. I'm older than that, but
You're 45.
I'm 40. I'll be 47 in July.
Wow.
Yeah.
47.
So everybody started.
So you in your late 30s.
Yeah, I was
when
in
you
my late
started.
30s.
That's incredible.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna be chucking myself off because
I thought you were 45.
yeah, 38 is when I started. I remember I was
38.
38 when I started my fitness journey. So
Wow.
it'll be 9 years this year. 9 years in November. I remember it was November of 2012.
That's when most people are quitting. They're not doing gyms anymore.
Yeah, I was old. I was older. I was definitely in my late 30s when I started. I think what happened with me, just going through a real tough time, man. Just being open about my situation, because I know I wouldn't come here and BS you or your audience. I just got out of prison in 2011, and when I got out, and I worked out in prison. Definitely not nothing like this now, but just staying fit. When I got out, things just wasn't clicking for me. I married the mother of my kids, and just things didn't get to clicking. Financially, and even just my mental state where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to the music, but at the time I was doing music, but music wasn't making money.
Mm-hmm.
So hours on end doing that, eating and stuff like that, I just let my body just go down. Relationships started to go down. Just everything just started to go down at one time,
Mm-hmm.
on all aspects of life. So I really didn't care about. I didn't care about myself. The only reason I was really just hanging around was really for my kids. And I was really just kind of like, whatever happens, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, David, you met David, Tax Now.
Yes.
Yes, he, one day I remember he was just like, come with me. We had been talking about working out and stuff.
Was he in shape back then?
He was smaller. He wasn't working out, but he's a small frame guy, so he wasn't big or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what he saw in me to inspire what he did. What he did next just shot me and it changed my life really, because I was really at a breaking point. He didn't know that. But he signed me up a membership. He paid for the first 3 months, sign up fees, paid for everything.
That's
I didn't
awesome.
ask him or nothing. He just did it because he cared for his boy. You know
I
what
could
I'm saying?
tell when we were on the shoot that day for the Tax Now commercial, I could tell that y'all were close.
Yes.
And what I gathered is that he really watched out for you.
He looked out.
And I feel like that day he was watching everybody to make sure that we were doing our job.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm cool with Terrence, but I got to be cool with that guy, because if I'm cool with that guy, I'm going to be really cool with Terrence.
Yes.
I
David's
picked
my
on that
dog,
really
man.
quick.
Yes.
So I watched him, and he seemed like he was the guy watching and making sure that everybody was doing their job. And I said, if I can impress both of them, I'll be in a good place.
No, he did a good job. But yeah, he was the catalyst. He took me to Max Fitness on Airport Thruway then.
Mm-hmm.
Signed me up. And it was like dragging the kid to the dentist. Cause I was like, oh man, you tripping, man. Why you ain't got to do this, man? You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of, I went. Then I was kind of, and I like, my friend did pay for this. I might would take it to my advantage. Make the best of a good situation. And that's what started it. And I just started to build that confidence. First start, you don't know stuff. People giving you tips and stuff, and I was just so determined, man, because I always been there, the life of the party, the fit guy, the guy played ball, and
Mm-hmm.
just to see myself go down like that, man, I was like, man, I gotta get back. I gotta get back to me. And it was a process, a lot of trial and error, but I figured it out.
You did. So, where did you figure out the dieting? Because I see the pictures that impressed me the most are your dieting.
Okay.
You discipline yourself, because what people don't understand is that to get this, it's more of the dieting than it is the gym.
Exactly. So what kicked that in was my friend, her name is Jennifer. I did a photo shoot for her at Panama City Beach, and I was creeping. This is like I'm 6 years in, 5-6 years into my training. I'm creeping. I'm down to like 200. And this is, you met her before, matter of fact. When I used to work out with that Planet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know you remember her, because I used to see you all the time with that. He used to get his workout on. But yeah, I was creeping. So when I did the beach photo shoot with her, I started looking at some of the beach photos that was taken of me, and I was like, okay, well, y'all almost there. But I realized for the last several years, I'm doing the same training. So I really started to just look into the doc. So I knew I was training. I was going crazy with the training, but I still wasn't getting that look. So I started. My first thing I did, and this is a good tip for anybody who wants to go into fitness and lean out. The first thing I did was I cut back on food. I didn't necessarily change what I was eating.
Just a portion.
I just portion, and that's to this day. That's my go-to. I mean, that's just my go-to method because I'm a Southern boy. I like Southern food.
Oh,
so I know when I'm out, like right now I'm kind of cutting, so I'm a little bit more disciplined. But in the fall, when all that stuff over, I'm trying to buckle it. I'm eating my Southern food. So, but with that being said, it's portion control. I'm not eating 3 pieces of chicken, maybe 2, maybe a leg and a thigh, something like that. Portion control on the rice. I'm not eating a whole cup, eating a half a cup. Green beans, vegetables, I go crazy on them because you can't really overdo it on them. But everything else, I cut back, and that's just been my go-to method for training. But when I tune my diet, I really just start looking at it as a carb, and protein, and fats. Just those 3 things. A little bit on the carb, just enough to get by. That's when everything started to come together for me. I understand my body. I mean, me and my body, I'm in tune with my body. I know if I eat, especially being close to 50, if I eat the wrong thing, it's gonna show on me just like that. But as long as I keep it low, as long as I keep it low, my body is tuned with. I keep my food.
Does it show on your waistline? Where does it show on you? It shows on my waistline with me now.
With me, my derriere. So don't block, but I'm working on that. It's almost gone.
So, how many? You eat 3 meals a day, or you do 6 meals? I mean, what are you doing?
Between 3 and 6.
Between 3 and 6.
Depends on the day.
Do you measure your portions out?
I've been doing it so long now. I ain't got to.
You just know.
I know it. The foods that I eat with my diet, I know I'm about the back of my hand. So it's just really about what I add to it to like this. Like if I eat crappy that week, I know I had a piece of cake, or it's added stuff that I might not know verbatim. But even like I know the honey buns I like are 600 calories. Like I know,
Wow.
I know exactly. I eat them sparingly, like maybe 3 or 4 times a year, like literally sparingly. But when I eat them, and then I add more calories to them. I put peanut butter on them, I put them in the microwave. But I just treat myself. Maybe I could say 3 or 4 times a year with that.
You see the Rock's cheat day? Do you see that? Do you follow him at all?
I follow him. I've never seen his cheat day. What he looks like.
So
I did see it one time. Yeah, he had a pizza or something like that.
There's a pizza, and then the cinnabons, and then pancakes.
So
and
I can't do that.
So I don't know how he does that. And
Yeah, that's
keeps
a lot. That's a lot.
So, would you say that it changed your mindset when you started getting this routine? And I'm assuming you can tell us. You taught yourself videography, directing. You taught yourself training. You
I taught myself training. Yes.
Wow.
And my main thing with especially my one-on-one training, my main thing with that is I have I don't go from 0 to 90. I go from 0 to 30. So my first 2 weeks of training with me one-on-one, you almost might feel like I'm paying this guy for this, but you'll realize in week 3 why I did it that way.
You're getting the body ready.
I condition the body, and I always take it as half cocked. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just take a team member from 0 to 90. It's gonna be like 1 or 2 sets, and you're not gonna be probably sweating, but I do that for a reason, because when we start that training, your body's not gonna be super sore when we start the 3 sets, 15 reps, 20 straight minutes, no rest, just from water breaks and stuff like that. Then you're like, but your body be ready, so you won't feel that sore. So it's just a technique that I learned from myself. Because every time I used to quit, I done backslid. I know that's in the religion, but it's in the gym too.
It is.
Backslide.
I'm backsliding right now.
I've never backslid more than 2 weeks, and it's always been because of injury. It's never been because of me. I might tweak something. I was like, I just suck. And then like 2 weeks later, you got to go do something. That's hurting. Go work this side. So I never let 2 weeks go by without me training. But I've had back slid before, so that just comes with it.
I heard The Rock, when he tore his abductor, he said he let the pain be your guide, so he would train something that wasn't causing pain to his abductor. So he trained legs.
Same logic, exactly.
Thing. So that's what I was thinking there. So now, I have been struggling during the quarantine, but I've been doing a lot more pull-ups than I've ever done before. I suck at them, but I've gotten a lot better. But I'm so sore this week because I've been doing a lot more pull-ups than I've ever done. I feel it all throughout here. I feel it out there, so I enjoy that. But for me, certainly been backsliding with because it's just the coronavirus. It's all on your brain. It's all in your head, and I'm working still because our what I do has been deemed essential. So we're still worried about that, and so I've just been struggling working out. So how do you break yourself out of that funk? What's your why? I always tell the players, what's your why? So what's your why to get you back to doing and get back after it?
That's a good question, and something today, it was kind of weird, I guess. It kind of made me think about my why. Honestly, for a long time, a reason for my why was wanting my family back, and I still do. It was really like, one day I hope we can be a family again. My youngest son is 15 now. Me and his mom, we've been split for a while. But I know she cares for me. I still care for her. But that was my why for a long time, and I would say through time, it might have changed from why it might have changed from family back to I want to show her, but it was still like I'm trying to show her so it'll bring the thing back together. But I realized one day, you know what, Terrence, you change your life. So no matter how the situation comes out, if you're never in union again, you're a better person. Mm-hmm. So my why changed from that to I just want to be, excuse my French, a bad ASS trainer in Columbus. So now with me, it's about me just trying to be at the top of my game. So especially since this stuff's been going on, I've been going hard on my training. I just want to be the best version of me, not only on the outside but inside, educating myself. My thing now is I'm trying to be a fat expert. That might sound funny, but I want to know everything I can about fat. How does it fix the body? How does it expel? I learned when we do my research real quick. I learned that you expel fat through breathing. You expel it through I guess excrement, the right word for it.
Laughing.
Urine. Anytime you're breathing in and out, you're burning fat. A different rate. That's why cardio, you're burning more fat because a lot of it's breathing. You're burning for energy. So I didn't know. I always thought fat was just energy versus calorie thing, but you burn fat way more ways than most people know. So that's my thing now, really researching fat, how it works, how it affects the body, because most of my team members are hiring me to help them with weight loss.
Yeah. What I found in training athletes and coaching athletes that, it always starts with an external motivation, which you talked about, wanting to be closer to your family and, them see a better side of you. But then the real growth comes in and when you have internal motivation.
Yes.
Like with these girls, I just want to be on the team.
Yeah.
That's a motivation. But an internal motivation is I want to be the best player on the team.
Yes.
So that's kind of what happened with you. You went
from
that's
why exactly.
Hey, I want to be an inspiration. I want to be a better person. I want to be closer to my family. I want my family closer to me. I want my children closer to me. I want everything good with my wife. But then it shifted to I want to be the best version of myself that I can be.
Exactly.
I want to be the best trainer in Columbus. And probably what you found, just like what they found and what I found, is when you have that internal motivation to pull from, it fixed all the external anyway.
It does. And she my wife, she called me today, and we always have a little funny thing we do, just joking about where you been and all that. It was just this morning I was actually thinking about her, and then see her call, because like I said, they say in Texas. It was just like, wow, like she called while I was thinking about her. So hope she don't see this podcast. She might think she doing something.
No, I hope you do. Give him a hard time.
Like my wife doing, so he was thinking about me.
I can't say nothing bad about Bliss, because while we're here at my house, we're filming at my house.
Yes.
She's keeping the kids calm.
Yes,
so
we're good.
You're amazing.
Maybe
So David was the one that got you in the gym.
Yes.
So he absolutely is one of your inspirations, getting you in there. What about, like, I have inspiration, people that I pull from. I don't know if anybody will know that, but I love Frank Zane. I mean, he's a bodybuilder.
Yeah, old guy.
One of the most aesthetic bodybuilders.
Short, 5'7", something
yes.
like that. Yeah.
Loved him. Of course, Arnold. Of course, The Rock. Do you have any people that you are inspired by and love watching them work out?
Okay, so for physique-wise, I guess different inspirations. I like guys. Shout out my boy Gang with James. If you're watching it, he's from Columbus. He's local. He was a guy who was bigger. He won't say he was big as me, but definitely fat. Holding on fat. And man, he's awesome, man. He's an athlete. He trains. He actually does competition. So people like that. That's what inspire me. Maybe not so much as famous people, but local people, or people who had that story where they was like, you know, they faced over adversity and they overcame game Jane. Even myself, man, I am real. Not trying to be coy or just putting myself on a pedestal, but it doesn't happen in your early 40s and late 30s where I was at. I was like over 300 pounds, and just to come back and bounce back, man. And I think my Creator, thank the Lord, because at the end of it all, he whatever he had in me is the reason that I'm here today, because it got bad, man. It got real bad to where I just didn't care, and that's a bad feeling when you have to really think about your children. Like, I had to just tune in on my kids, like, this, you know, if you do anything to yourself, how bad it's gonna hurt them, how will it affect their lives. But that was the only thing just keeping me from just wanting not just leave here.
Yeah.
My kids, yeah.
On the edge of rock bottom.
Boy, people don't know it. I was like, is this the edge? I was like, right here.
Ready to give up.
And David, all that was perfect timing. When he came, I remember, maybe a month in, I pulled my ham, but it goes off to, I remember just a couple of days, like, okay, my hamstring hurt, I'm not doing nothing. Yeah, I remember, I'm going to be just like you were before.
Yeah.
So I went to Shirley B. That's when I started going to Shirley B. Winston. I went to Shirley B. Winston.
Played a lot of basketball.
And they had a chest press machine.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never used one before, and I started using the chest press machine. And while my leg was hurting, when my leg hit, I started walking again. So it's always be about overcoming, man. You know, when adversity gets in front of me, my mindset now is I got to figure a way around it, over it, or through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, you know, the adversity is what molds us.
That's what
you know, a lot of people, I feel like today, you tell me what you think, I feel like a lot of people run away from adversity. They don't want problems. But what they don't realize is that without the problems, you're not going to be able to find a better version of yourself, and you're not going to be able to discover the real you without the problems. And what you find is when that problem has come in your life, like with your adversity, your problem was you're ready to give up on life, you're ready to quit, but you found a solution. I just want to, if I can get a better hold of myself physically, then maybe then emotionally and spiritually that will follow, and I'll become a better person. Right. And what happened is that it wasn't the solution that got you there, it was the problem that got you there. The problem was you're about to give up. And a lot of people, they want to run away from the problems. They want to run away from the adversity. But what they don't realize is without any adversity, there is no growth.
There's no growth.
You know, a workout's adversity.
Yeah.
You know, a workout is nothing but adversity. You have the sets, you have the amount of, sometimes you time them, sometimes you don't, but you have the sets, you have the reps, you have the work. It's an adverse situation. But you find yourself pushing yourself through that adversity and making yourself better. And it seems like today you train people that they don't want the adversity. I mean, don't you kind of see that? Where they don't want the adversity. They want their problems to go away. And what they don't realize, without any problems, you're not going to find any real solutions to yourself.
Okay, freeze, don't move. I'm turn like that. Come to freeze. Hold you got. See your body motion be the same. Get my direct on now, y'all. This the outtake. Ooh, old butt sore. I did hammies yesterday.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, so I know we at 30 minutes. Just remember I said it cuts off about 30. So boom, cut that back on, bam. And the first, and I got a solution for that. Because you're right. I'm gonna call it the quick method. Okay, I have my leg right here. Okay. Well, to answer your question, you're right. People, especially, don't get mad, ladies. The ladies, they want the quick method. Everybody wants it quick. That's not gonna happen. It took me 8 years to get where I'm at, but I lost the majority of the weight within 18 months. Mm-hmm. So I lost 100 pounds within 18 months, and everything else for the next couple of years, I was feeling myself. So I was cool with being 230. I realized, hey man, 5'9.5". Well, I call myself 5'10". 230 ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to get lighter with my weight. And like I said, just going with the food till I figured that out. It was just 230, 215. That was my comfort zone for a while. But what I do now for adversity, when it comes with my team, I try to make it fun. Because it can be looked at as an adversity if you make it seem like it's punishment or something bad. You're fat, so you gotta do this. Nah, let's make it a challenge. Let's make it fun. You know, a terminology that they're using now is hot girl summer. You know the hot girl summer coming up, you better do them squats.
Yeah, you
so
gotta
everybody
look
wants to
good.
look good. Exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, you know, just 1, 2, 3. I'm not that type of trainer. I am very, like, my team will tell you I'm engaged. I get on their level. I try to make it fun as possible. That hour or that 45 minutes goes by so fast. They be like, wow, but they get it at the end of the day because I work them out, but I do it in a different way. I'm not a drill sergeant type of trainer. Now my younger guys, I'm a little more father figure-ish toward them. A little more sternish. Come on, guys, might swear a little bit just because I try to get on their level. I try to make my playlist more based on music they like, just for this. Okay, coach, cool. So I try to get on people's level when I do my training, because it's not just training. I want them to be look at me as somebody that they could trust and go to outside of training, because we went on different events with people in the groups outside of stuff we put on Facebook. So it's like a community. 4.0, I look at it as a nation. I love Columbus. That's why I stress Columbus so much. This is my home, so it starts here. But I really want to take the show on the road and open up 4.0 fitnesses all across the country.
So speaking of the gym, so you went from filmmaking, and then from there you began to work yourself out and become, the guy that you are today. He's Jack, man. Where did the inspiration come from to start the 4.0 fitness, and where did the name come from?
Oh, glad you asked that. So the name 4.0 Fitness, once again, the girl Jennifer, that's around the time I used to see you at Planet, all that came together. So, of course, when you do fitness with somebody, you're around that person 3 or 4 times a week, hour a day, you talk a lot. So I was telling Jennifer that, just looking at the Planet setup, just things I could do better, or, if I had this, I could do that. And she's like, you gotta open up your gym one day. So once again, just talking with a friend, just getting that communication, getting that dialogue started, she planted a seed in my head. And I always just started thinking about what could my name be, what could my design be. And this is, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is the design. I designed this. Originally, it was just some sticks. I was just doodling. But what these represent is the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 pillars of 4.0 fitness. And I figured out, me just writing out ideas, that you got your introduction stage. That's when I was telling you about preparing. And then you have the training stage, which is the bulk of the training, the time that you spend. But most of them are 4-month programs. And then you have the reevaluation. That's where we go back and sit down and see if we meet our goals, what we need to work on, what do we do good at. And then you have the last one, just like the elite. You have maintenance level. You've done the program, we reached our goals, so now you might be just checking in with me once or twice a month just to make sure that you're still on your path to fitness. So that was the basic of the 4 pillars when I first put it together, and it just evolved from that to chest, back, shoulders, legs, for 4 body parts. People put it on the spin on, but that was the original, the 4 pillars: introduction, training, maintenance, reevaluation, and maintenance.
Okay, that's awesome. So now that you have it, you have your own gym on Buena Vista Road.
Buena Vista Road, Columbus, Georgia.
In South Columbus. So did you purposely put it there in South Columbus? Why did you do that?
Shout out to Max Fitness. I've been a member of them a long time, but my commute to Max is 24 miles from my house. I love the facility at Max. I love the staff. But in my community, South Columbus, now our Victory Drive is a gym, but our Buena Vista Road is nothing. It's nothing. So we have to go either where people who are members of Planet have to go all the way to Milton Road, or they can go on South Lumpkin, I think, to Destiny or one of those gyms out there. But it's nowhere in Buena Vista Road. So it was either there or across the street in that particular business next door to Walmart, the old Walmart. It just, when I saw it, I kind of took the smaller 24/7 fitness, Snap Fitness, those type of business model, and I saw that being in there, but not with the franchise tag, with my own tag, because I'm a brand. I ain't no sense of jumping on their franchise when I'm the brand.
You're the brand.
Put my own thing on there.
I love it.
But yeah, just joking about that. But that was my whole thing, was I wanted it, and that was when I first started kind of doodling. I saw the franchise and I saw what they want, and I was like, it sounds good because you get the support, but at the end of the day, members are going to be members. So I figured that, with the standing I had in the community, in the story I had, I could bring people in, and I've been getting enormous support from everybody.
So since the quarantine has happened, you've done a interview for WTVN, which was awesome.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you.
So how did that come about? How did the interview come about? How did they get a hold of you?
So once again, Khalees, he talked to a producer at the station, and they asked him, do you know any trainers who would interview about doing some home workouts and stuff like that. So he gave them the name. Of course, he gave a name to his boy, but he gave a name to a couple other trainers too. And I was one of the ones that got picked. So that was a shock, and I had like a little time to prepare. But I actually have a program coming out. I mentioned the book bag method on there, and I'm actually have a program coming out on how you can train at home using everyday items. And the book bag is going to be my go-to tool, if you want to say it.
I thought it was
so
ingenious.
versatile. Yes, and in all honesty, we keeping it real, right?
Yeah.
What's the name of your podcast again?
Standing on the Rock.
Standing on the Rock. I'm standing on the rock, y'all. People in prison, they get so, just the right word, ingenuity. They have a lot of ingenuity. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
One thing that I'm gonna say we, because I've been in prison. It's been a long time, but I've been there. So I'm gonna say we. What we used to do was for weights. They took the weights right when I got old enough to start going to prison. They took the weights. So what people used to do was get a mop or broom handle. They get you get laundry bags. So you get a laundry bag and you get a plastic bag. You fill the plastic bag up with water, tie a knot in it, then you put it in your laundry bag, tied up with a string. Then you put the strings on the sides of the mop handle. So now you got two sides, and then you put a tie that you would get from a sheet or something to tie those water bags on both sides. So now you can either curl with it, you can do extensions with it, you can do a bench press with it, you can do all kind of things with it, with water bags and the mop. So that's where the thought process came when it came to doing the book bag. I thought about that, and I was like, of course I'm not going to do that. That's too much. But I thought, okay, book bag has straps. You can hold it.
That's perfect.
Then just to put the space age on it, we're not using water bags anymore, but you can use water bottles. I realized that water bottles weigh 16.7 ounces, which is about a pound. So for each water bottle you put in there, it's a pound. So that's how I came up with it. Just thinking.
And you got a lot of hits on it.
Got a lot of hits on it.
It was awesome.
Yeah, so I got to put the whole workout together now.
Yes.
They forced my hand.
Which I couldn't help but notice. I knew it was going to happen. Somebody was going to accuse you of being on performance enhancers.
Yes, yeah, man.
But see, you and I handle that differently, because when I'm working out great and someone says, "Dude, you got to be on roids," I'm like, "No, but I appreciate the compliment." I take it as a compliment.
I don't, man.
Because I'm clean. So, but when someone accuses you, you get upset.
Yes.
I've seen it several times that they accuse you. Why do you get so upset?
Because, man, I go hard, Lee. I mean, I'm almost 50, man, and I got there the other day. I ran a 5K. A friend of mine said, "I want to run a couple miles." I ran.
You like running?
I got a love-hate relationship with it. I know that it's the most effective way for me to burn fat in my body. My body responds to running better than anything.
Mine does too.
But it just puts that wear on you, makes you tired. So but I know it's the best thing for me, so I do it. I go hard. So when people just try to say he on roids, like, to me that's saying you took a pill or you took a shot to get like that. You didn't work hard to get like that. You went the easy way out to get like that. I don't see it as you looking good. I take it as you took the easy way out. And ever since I've been doing this fitness, I've never went that route at all. I barely take protein powder. I mean,
you eat your protein?
I eat food.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. I don't take. I mean, I maybe more so now the last several weeks, but for years I have protein powder. I got it from my wife from her house. It's been like 2 years. It's been like literally. I don't eat it. I don't make smoothies. Like I make smoothies, but not with protein powder. Like, I'll get some blueberries, some pineapple, some water, some crushed ice, put maybe a little honey in it and make my own. But just the protein powder, I don't use that a lot. So I don't use supplements. I don't use no drug performance enhancing drugs. So when somebody says that to me, that's kind of them saying.
You get mad.
Yeah.
Like you're ready to fight mad.
You're not working hard. You took a pill look like that, man. Like I said, coming from 300, getting low as 173, 6-pack ab, striated obliques.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like ripped.
There's a picture, and I'll put it on my Facebook wall where you're flexing. There's just veins.
Yeah, and hold on, let me see if I can make it do it for you. Let me see, because I got so much control of my body. Come on, wake up, roll tide. I gotta say roll tide. Let me say roll tide.
Look at that.
Roll tide. Watch his A pop up. Watch it roll. Come on. Roll tide. Watch the A pop up. You see it?
I do see it.
You see it? I don't know if they can see it, but it's right there. Roll tide. You see it?
I swear I see it. It's right there.
Right there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Alabama runs through my veins for real.
So, but you get upset by that. Let me ask you,
man.
how much protein do you measure? How much protein you consume a day?
Once again, right. I'm so used to it. I try to get about. I don't always hit it, but I try to get about 100 grams in a day.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's
man.
a lot of eating.
Yeah, 100 grams of protein, which is probably like a chicken breast, a couple chicken breasts. I do the egg white, so I can get it. I can get it, but I just have to really think about getting it that day. Some days, now what I'm good at is carb cycling. I work carbs better because meat.
What is carb cycling?
So carb cycling is, say tomorrow I say, Lee, we're gonna go run 7 miles. I'll carb up today, meaning I get rice in me. I will get carbs up so tomorrow I have energy. But if I know it's a day that I might be doing just biceps curls, working my triceps, I'm not really doing no back or leg, nothing heavy. I'll lay easy on my carbs that day because I don't need as much energy. So I subconsciously carb cycle all the time. Like I go off my load. Okay, today I know I got a lot to do. I'm gonna ingest a little more carbs. Or today's a light day. I might just kick back and just chill today. I'm gonna ingest less carbs. So I've been doing that for years. It's almost like I just know you feel it type thing. But I would definitely recommend that too. If you're not using a lot of energy that day, you need for you to take in a lot of food.
So would you say if you're just gonna work your upper body, like if you're doing chest and tries, do you need a lot of carbs that day?
Yes, chest is a big. To me, chest and legs and back. I'm gonna give me some carbs in, but if I'm doing like maybe abs or a little cardio, depending on kind of cardio. If I'm doing long distance, definitely get some carbs in. But if I'm doing arms or even my shoulder day, I'm gonna cut it back a little bit. Like on my leg day, that's the big boy breakfast. I'm gonna eat grits. I'm gonna eat like a muffin or egg McMuffin or bran muffin or something like that. I'm gonna eat my eggs with spinach. With the whites, with the yellows in them that day. I just eat bigger, and it's pretty much clean food, but it's you use more energy.
Yeah.
And you have to bring in more energy and keep your day smooth. So.
See, I think that's the thing that gets in people's way. It's not the lifting. It's not all that. It's the dieting.
Oh, it's everybody.
And
That's
they get
90%.
discouraged.
Yes.
So when you have people, your people that you coach and your customers, are you putting them on a meal plan as well? Helping them with their diet.
And the reason I say this, and then maybe I should, but I feel like I've done that way, and I've actually given people a meal plan, and man, they don't do it.
They don't follow.
So to me, it's one of those things that I stress to them, like, you have to figure out your diet, because I can say eat all these. If you don't want to eat, you're not going to eat it. I try to condition people's mind that food is not a reward you're going to get 3 or 4 times a day, every day in your life. Who would want that reward? That's worthless to me.
Yeah.
If I'm getting something 3 or 4 times a day, every day of my life, what's the reward in that? Where's the value in that? I know in a couple more hours I'm beginning the same thing. When I say not the same food, but that enjoyment, eat something you like. So how I try to tell people to look, eat you one thing you like a day, everything else just put it in your macros. I know I gotta eat something, but put it in your macros. Don't be trying to eat something you like every meal, just so when you do eat something you like, it's gonna make it better. Create a veggie day. Thursday is a good day for a veggie day. We eat nothing but veggies this day. You got to do little things. You can't be complacent. You got to challenge yourself. Anytime you be complacent, just going to the day to day, you're not gonna grow. And that's where I'm at now. Like I challenge myself from all aspects. Get up and do this. I did a mile on the bicycle till I got a bicycle. So if I do a leg day, sometimes get on the bike and just do all the extra little things. So you have to keep challenging yourself, especially us guys in our 40s.
Yes.
Some closer to 50, but we have to keep challenging ourselves and keep it moving, man.
Yeah.
You can't sit still.
No. And what I've learned is I always love to switch it up. When I got into my late 30s, someone introduced me to yoga, and I was like, I'm not doing yoga. And they said, well, if you want to keep playing basketball and volleyball, you're going to want to do yoga.
Stretching.
And so at first I was just this really sissy workout that only sissies do. And then I did it, and I said, this is one of the toughest workouts I've ever done in my life. I sweat. It's like I just ran 5 miles.
Oh, it's tough.
Doing an hour of stretching. But it's prolonged, my ability to still play basketball and still play volleyball. And when you coach young jokers like this, and they talk to John.
So you still be jumping and stuff, Lee?
Yeah.
I don't do none of that. But the way these knees set up.
Yeah, I do. Well, I'm competitive too. I'll tell you a story. I was playing. I ran into a friend of mine, Norman. He's a great basketball player. Plays at the Y. Plays all over. And I used to play at Cornerstone Church of God. What's up, Cornerstone? I used to have keys to that gym, and I had some friends of mine who were Koreans, and I used to give them the business. I could play. It's when I was in my early 30s. And well, fast forward about 6 years later, they invited me to their church to play. Oh, this guy's good. This guy's good. Well, I was out of shape. I had this is one of the moments where I was backslidden and I had tendonitis in my right knee. I couldn't jump. I couldn't move. They killed me. They destroyed me. And so I said, I'm gonna go back next week. I'm gonna show them couldn't. So I started doing yoga. Started getting back in the gym. And a friend of mine, Clark, said we're gonna open the gym up. And he said, I'm gonna invite some of the guys at the, I don't want to name the Korean church. I said, make sure you invite this guy. And I saw him in there, and I said, it's gonna be barbecue chicken. I lit him up.
So you ready?
Lit him up. So I still got. I guess they say you got that dog in you.
You better have a
I
competitive
still,
edge.
especially with these girls, they'll run their
Man, I
mouths.
see all your trophies and your plaques, man.
They'll run their
all
mouths.
these championships.
Yeah, man.
2013, 2000, yeah. So you will win. You know what it takes to win, man. And you know, I know you still see a girl. You got to go hard. You got to. You got to go hard. You got to be consistent with your training, and you got to be focused.
It's the mindset.
That's it. You got to be focused on what you're doing.
A lot of what we're seeing, and I was going to ask you later. It is with the internal mindset of like today it's almost like tough coaching is being frowned upon.
Yes.
So they look at tough coaching as bad coaching. I don't look at it like that. I look at it as there's a goal, there's a standard, and once we get to the standard, we're going to be able to accomplish things that we otherwise couldn't accomplish, which is like with you and your body.
Mm-hmm.
When you changed your mindset, you were able to accomplish things you weren't able to accomplish.
Exactly. You got to have a mindset.
But when you're coaching these people, when you're coaching the people that you're working with, are you doing more positive reinforcement? Or are you getting after them? Kind of what's the?
I have one. I don't know if you've seen my real personal trainers in Columbus. I have one, and she gives them raw. She might be the one that I kind of push a little bit harder, but most of mine is positive influence, reinforcement of what they're doing. But the approach you're talking about, I think that pop culture and the media has definitely made coaching a tough job because I remember old school coach used to, damn near kick your butt outside of that, call you everything in the book. But you knew Coach loved you. He was doing it for, Now, if you grab a face mask or you're getting fired, or even some cases, coaches have been charged, and I think that's ridiculous. Because coaches, a lot of times, are the first line of defense between the streets and a lot of kids, especially in my community. So when these parents are not stepping up to the plate, sometimes these coaches and even teachers are stepping up to the plate. So I think they definitely don't get enough credit. And some of these kids need to be, and I'm not saying assaulted, but some of these kids, he whipped up in shape because some are very undisciplined, and maybe something the coach see in that kid that he's correcting now will save him a lot of trouble down the line.
Exactly. There's one team I coached, the only undefeated team I ever had. I knew when we were training in the summer that we were going to go undefeated because I asked them a question one day. I said, why are you guys doing everything you're doing? Why are you doing all this training? Why do you want to work so hard? What is it? Just trying to see what their why was. And one of them, I'll say who it was, Christina Faison. She said, we don't want to disappoint you, Coach.
No, man.
When she said that, and all of the players were in unison, like, yes, that's our why. And when she said that, I remember coming home and telling Alyssa, we're not going to lose a game. We're going to win every game.
They put that pressure on you, too, to be on your game, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you got to make sure you make the right subs. Was she ready to come out? How she feeling? Do I need to save her for the run? That's a lot of things coming, coach. So, yeah.
Exactly. But when that mindset's there, we don't want to disappoint you, Coach.
Yes.
We want to do everything we can to make you happy because all I want to do as a coach is to do everything I can to make them the best version of themselves that they can be, the best person, the best player they can be. And if we can do that, and if we're in that mindset together, there's nothing we can't accomplish.
Wow, y'all 15-0?
That team went 16-0, and we played a really good. I'll never forget it. We were playing Glenwood, and they had a great team. And they came in, and you could feel that they brought their football team, and they came in there, and they just felt like they owned the gym. They came into our gym, and they felt like they owned the gym. And all the girls said, Coach, can you feel it? I said, yeah, I can feel the tension. We love it. And this was a pregame. And I said, we're going to the game.
So
they could feel the tension, and they could feel the adversity, and they loved it. They loved it.
It was like how we say, and this is my old life, so I'm just going to make a joke about it.
Sure, go ahead.
In dog fighting world culture, we call that being game.
Mm-hmm.
It was game. It
It
was
was
ready to
game
go.
time.
They
It was
ready.
game time. They could feel it.
Hit.
They could feel it
Yeah.
because sometimes.
That's a great feeling, ready to go.
Oh my
Ooh,
God!
that's a
If I
great
could drink
feeling.
that,
Yes,
I could put that in the drink.
I know what that feels like, ready to go. It's like, let's get 'em.
Some teams I've coached, would they would get intimidated by that, and then they would learn from it, and they would bounce back. But that team, they loved it. They wanted it. They ran toward it, and every team I've ever coached, eventually they've either had it preseason or they developed it.
Mm-hmm.
But that team, they were one of the first ones in the preseason. It was like we're ready to go,
They're locked in.
And it was proud, and that's what you want. I'm sure that's what you want as a coach.
Yes.
They want to just do everything that they can to make you happy. Because if they're doing that, then they're doing their job. If they're doing their job, they're becoming a better player, a better person, a better teammate, and all that stuff.
And I once again, I embellish my photography side. I tell like this virus pandemic we're going through messed things up, but one of our things was, hey, we're doing a spring shoot in April. I want everybody to be looking good. By the Skippy, but of course this is going on now, so we can't do it. But hopefully when all this clears up, we can get back to doing things like that, doing challenges. Okay, this is April. This is how you look in June. Look, 3 months. I just doing things like that because I know they want to make me proud, and I want them to respect me and understand that I do things for them as well as they do things for me.
So how have you been navigating through the quarantine with 4.0 and with your fitness? How have you been
with my
navigating
fitness,
that?
I've got a lot of free time, so I've been every day. I've been training. After I leave here, I'm going to go train. With the contact, keeping 6 feet is definitely made it difficult. We're in the back, spaced out, doing stuff like ropes in circuits. So in circuits, so everybody's kind of moving around, 2 or 3 people max, but it really came to a standstill. So I got a lot of content. I'm just editing content, just putting it out there, just trying to stay busy working.
Now, how are you staying in shape during the quarantine?
Trying to do my 5Ks a day. Like I said, 5K a day. When I work out in the morning, I try to do a strength and ab, and then in the evening I come back and do some more strength. So I'm really actually getting a lot of workout. I expect to look great after all this is over because I'm working out a lot.
You got a lot of free time on your hands.
A lot of free time on my hands, so I work out a lot.
So in closing, we love basketball, and I told them we have to talk about the Mamba. So I felt like there's been 2 events this year that stopped the world. Obviously, the COVID-19 has been the second one, but the first one was Kobe, and it hit me in the stomach. I don't know if you cried, but I cried. There was a lot of times I cried.
Yeah.
I still get emotional seeing him on TV. I didn't know how much I loved him until we lost him.
So you lost him, yeah.
So where were you the day it happened, and how did you respond to it?
Well, Lee, I knew you were gonna ask that question. And I think everybody who's a Kobe fan, or even if you wasn't a Kobe fan, you know what you were doing. I was in a real bad situation. I was recording a commercial for an attorney, Mark Jones. Shout out to Mark, District Attorney Mark
Was this a Super Bowl commercial?
The Super Bowl commercial.
Wow.
And my friend called me and told me, he's a jokester. I said, hey man, I'm working. I said, talk to you later. He called me back and said, man, I'm not joking, man, Kobe's dead. I was like, whatever. Then people that was on set started getting on their phone, and it changed everything. It just went straight silent, and it took me a couple of minutes. I knew I was there for a job. We was right in the middle of it, and I had it. Then I was on the deadline. Then it was only 1 week left, so it was all bad. And I really just had to suck it up, man, and push through it. And I kind of, had my own little thing later on that night when I calmed down and left there. But I remember everybody being sad, and as hard as that hit, man. What really made me I had to take a break. I really had to stop. They cut me to take about 5 minutes, y'all. Was when my boy called me back and said Gigi was in there.
Yeah.
That did me.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad for Kobe. When I heard his daughter was with him, I had to stop and just walk outside, kind of gather my thoughts, and because I thought about my daughter. Like, she stays in Texas. I don't see her. If anything happened to her, how I would feel, and that just took me to a bad place, man. I just prayed for him. I prayed for the families, the other people who lost their lives on the chopper, and it really just made me just life is short, man. And called everybody I loved, and just made me realize, man, we only here for a short period of time. We gotta enjoy every day, brother.
Yeah. I thought he was invincible. I thought they were gonna find him and that he jumped off him and Gigi.
I know, right? Yeah, yeah.
Everybody else was dead, but
man,
he
bro,
made it.
I promise you, I thought something like that.
I
was like,
swear,
man,
he's alive. They gonna find him, bro. I
you
kept
waited
telling
right
him,
before the
jumped
chopper
out
hit
the
the ground,
plane.
you know, thing you just always think of as a child that you,
Yeah.
but you know, I knew it was bad.
Because he did the impossible. He
Took a
said,
team with nobodies and one.
well,
I
not
ain't
just
gonna say
that.
nobody,
He
but-
said, I'm gonna be Michael. And everybody else that tried to do it, Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway,
I used to like Penny. Yeah, injured.
I can't remember his
They had one called Baby
Harold
Jordan.
Miner.
Yeah,
Baby
Harold
Jordan.
Miner, yeah.
They all failed, and he was Michael Jordan. When I saw Kobe play, I said, "That's the closest thing to Michael I've ever seen, ever."
And he got 5 chips.
And he got 5
He
chips.
was close.
And so-
You might like.
And yeah, I loved him when he had the fro, and then when he cut his hair short and started running like Michael and talking, I hate him. Now I hate him. But then I saw the my favorite memory, and I'm trying not to get emotional, is the 08 Redeem team. When they lost in the 04, they lost in the Olympics. They didn't get to go. And in the 08 team, they put that super team together.
Yes.
And Kobe was on. I said, they're going to win. And I remember I had to stay up till 3 o'clock to watch them play against Spain. And everybody had their moment. LeBron had their moment. Dwayne Wade had their moment. Everybody. But then in the closing moments of the fourth quarter, like, all right, Kobe, take us there. And they literally like, and he took it over.
He went off. Yeah, I remember that game.
And I said, I'm not going to miss a game that man plays from here on out. Because it was unbelievable. It was one of the proudest moments I ever was as a basketball fan. One of the proudest moments as an American.
Yeah, as an American. Kobe represented the USA.
And I just said, I'm going to watch this brother play till he's done. And I did. And just to watch him, because for me, he's that old school
competitor. Yeah, let's get it.
And that's what I appreciated from him, you know. And
he gave it to us.
And he didn't care who he was playing against. And then when he died, it's like, you know, who's gonna fill them shoes?
Who has that ferocity? Just,
you know.
I don't think nobody has out there. I don't see. I mean, I don't see another Kobe, even that mentality in the NBA right now. It never been another moment.
Because, you know, I love Kobe, but with all due respect, he was not the athlete that Michael Jordan was. He wasn't a freak athlete.
He wasn't a freak athlete, but I think his work ethic was impeccable.
His trainer said that.
His training, yes. I think that's where his strength was at. Like his reps and him training was that's what was.
His trainer said there wasn't nothing remarkable about him as an athlete. What was remarkable about him was his work ethic.
Yes.
And he was not afraid to ask questions.
We told Shaq would have trained like that, would have won 10 of them.
They would have won at least 5 or 6. But man, I hate it, and I'm looking forward to the 10-part documentary with the Bulls and
yes, that's about to come out soon, eh?
Yeah, April 19th. And then with Kobe, that's gonna be hard. But man, I didn't know how much I loved him until afterward. And I'll be honest with you, he became more human post basketball. You know, seeing him work with other players, seeing him with his daughter. That's what killed me. And showing his daughter and her with that Mamba mentality. So
every time I take a shot in the trash, I used to always say either Kobe or Mike. I used to say Mike sometimes too. Mike, but now it's Kobe forever now.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll be hitting them, I'll be dropping them.
But it goes back to what you said with America being the melting pot. You look at not just a black man, but a black man that is bilingual. You know,
3 languages, didn't he?
He spoke 3 or 4 languages.
Italian, he grew up somewhere.
French, Italian, and Spanish.
Yes.
And but he reached he was cross cultural, man. You know,
high school.
Everybody loved him. You know, everybody loved Kobe, and it spoke to America as a melting pot. It goes back to what you're saying, and so it makes you miss people like that are able to reach all the cultures and bring them together. Yeah.
He was also a big influence on China too.
They loved him over there.
Yeah, he's going to be involved in some kind of basketball league in China. So. Rest in peace, Kobe.
Rest in peace, Kobe. So before we go, as always, going to give you a little bit of inspiration. So, Terrence, I want to ask you the question that I asked Kevin. What do you think God is saying to us during this quarantine?
I tell you, I think during this quarantine, God wants us to love one another, respect one another, and whatever you're doing out there, He wants you to be better at it, get better at it. So I tell people, don't take this time lightly. Whatever you're doing in life, your hobbies, your likes, get better at it, educate yourself. If it's spending more time with your family, your kids, even with fitness, definitely come up with a family plan, spend more time with your family,
Yes.
create games, and just realize life is short. A lot
That's
of people
right.
have lost their lives from this, and as a country, as a world, we'll get through it. But realize that life is short, and God wants us to definitely look at one another and realize that we're all in this together.
We're in this together. And realize this. There was a former pastor that spoke a word this week. His name's Eddie Beach. And he did this thing, and he called it But God. There was the But God moments in the Bible. And I wanted to share one of the But God moments in the Bible. In Psalms 73, verse 26, it says, "My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever." Just want you to trust God. Trust Him. As this man has trusted the Lord, trust God. But also have discipline to see God through that moment in your life and just continue to trust Him through the process, because all this may fail. The coronavirus, the economy, but God. God's going to have His day, and God's going to have His say eventually. But God. The world's going to have their say. The government's going to do what they do, but eventually God's going to have His moment when they say, but God. He's our strength. He's our portion. This is Terrence Flowers. I'm Lee Halverson, and we were standing on the rock. I want to thank Terrence Flowers for being on the show. This is us standing on the rock. Thank you so much, and God bless.